what time in the relationship do you think it's comfortable to talk about sex and what you want out of sex? Like, but you're already like, say you're like in the relationship, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking 3 months? Are we talking 2 months? Because I feel that if you don't do it early on in the relationship, it gets harder to talk about later on in the relationship. So say like a year, okay, so here, first part, let me give you an example. Okay, well, I don't like making love. Like I want to get fucked 24/7. Like I just like hardcore sex, okay?
Say that, bang, okay? Bang. Utu right. Bang bang.
But you're in the relationship, you're 3 months in, and you don't really say anything. Now a year later, you haven't established or you haven't set the boundaries or the ground rules or you haven't said your wants for it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And now you're like, well, you don't even fuck me. You don't fuck, you know what I mean? And then it becomes like a problem in the relationship because I feel like sex is like, well, in my relationships, I feel like sex is one of the top things in a relationship that you're in. And so, I mean, of course, there's trust, commitment, all that. Okay, don't get me wrong.
And we talking about this. Yeah. We talking about this.
We're talking about sex.
Yeah, we're talking about sex. And so then it's like, when do you think that it's okay to say it, or when do you feel that is the right time to say it when you're comfortable enough to say it, so that it's not too long-term past, and then you're bringing it up like 2 years later, like, well, I like anal. You know what I mean? Like, when do you think, or we'll start with Karen.
Go. Hey, I got a lot to say, but go ahead.
Hey, Lani, real, you don't cuddle at all?
Oh, hold up. Hey, that's not the question. That's not the question. That's not the question.
Like, don't divert.
Yeah, Karen, let's hear you. Let's hear you, Karen.
You should start to smash and go. Like, there's no cuddling after.
Hey, that's an add-on. We'll talk about that after. We'll talk about that after
this.
All right, go ahead, Karen.
From the minute you can lay down with him and you give him your body, you should be comfortable enough.
That's my girl.
To just tell him.
Yeah.
And have that open relationship, because you're comfortable enough to take your clothes off and give someone your body. You better be comfortable and tell him what you like, and he should be comfortable enough what he likes.
Thank you.
I would add on to Karen. You got to be able to communicate that way in a way. You know, you don't just go out. You know, I think you have to be able to communicate it so they can understand it. Some people don't know how to communicate that.
Absolutely, but if I'm not communicating with my partner, I'm not laying down with him.
Right.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So like for me and personally, like, so in gay relationships, in gay world, sex is the gay handshake. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sex is the hello. You know what I mean? That's usually gay men have sex with other gay men before they even know each other's name. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it. Yeah. And so like in that sense, like if we have sex and I find out your name, and then like, hey, we're gonna meet up for round 2, we should be able to speak about it automatically, like, you know what I mean? And like that's kind of like the kind of so like going back to that relationship I used to have back in March. It wasn't a relationship, my bad. The talking stage I was with this person back in March. We were talking and stuff, and then like, so literally maybe like the third conversation or fourth conversation we had already talked about sex and like what he was into, what I was into, and everything. Because if we're not going to be compatible sexually, then maybe this isn't, you know what I mean, going to be something that's going to be worthwhile to entertain. You know what I mean? So like if I was into something that he wasn't into, or if he was into something that I wasn't into, but we were both into this one specific thing, like we could only have sex and connect on this one level of like, sexual act, rather than like, because sex is like all these multiple different things you can connect on sex, right? But if we're only going to connect on this one version of it, then I don't know if I'm willing to commit to it. What else do you bring to the table other than sex is going to make me want to stay? You know what I mean? And then sometimes that works for people. Sometimes people, will connect on that just because they connect on other things in life, like, financial things or whatever it may be, whatever. You know what I mean? If they connect on that, but they only have like one stream that they connect on as far as having sex, and that works for them, But for me, I think that I would rather You know what I mean? Like get it out there in the open, talk about it, you know what I mean? Like be aware of what they like and what they're into, be aware of what I'm into, what I like, and then you grow from there. You know, or at least know that even if you're not into it, are you willing to try it with me?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're willing to try it with me and do this with me, and then we try it, and then, you know what I mean? It's like a building stage and you learn from it, and then like you guys keep doing it or whatever, you know what I mean? And like you expand your horizons from it, then that's like, you know, a level of like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with this, I'm gonna see where this goes, and then we're gonna build from here. But if you only like this one specific thing and you only do that one little thing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's gonna last.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I
think-
agree
I
with
think-
you. Yeah.
I think it goes back to the first question about like cheating and whatnot, because I do feel that if you don't express or you don't say what you want, and like Karen said, you don't communicate from the get, you don't really know what that person wants or likes, then that person might go find it somewhere else because you're not communicating about it. It's like, well, I like this to be done, I like that to be done. And then you're looking at other avenues of getting it somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, communication is huge.
So I think it's very huge. And I think it, like, in my personal opinion, is like what Karen said, if you're willing to lay down with the person, you should be able to express, like, I don't like this, I like this. Do you like this? Do you like? But it's an uncomfortable topic. This is why it's a question, because it is an uncomfortable topic for a lot of people. It's not for me.
You gotta make, right. For me neither.
Yeah.
But for a
Me
lot of
neither,
people,
yeah.
it is.
I'm real about it. I'm
For
real
some
about
people,
what I like and what I don't like.
it's a huge roadblock because they don't want to speak about it and they don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable, especially like maybe you're early on in the 3 months, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, well, I don't want to tell him that I'm a freak. You know what I mean? But like that might scare him off. But it's like, to me, it's helpful that you do, because then you can tell early on if it's going to continue or not. Because if he's not into this and he's not into that and you are, and that's part of your number one thing in a relationship, then it's not going to work. It's just not going to work.
And I think a person, I mean, at least for me, is really important. You have to be open to, and I think Alfred said that, open to try new things and open.
Exactly.
That's why you have to have that communication, and you should be open, because you know what? There's times that, and I'll be honest, I don't think I like that. Guess what? I tried it and I went back for more.
Right.
You know? So
right.
you gotta be open. You gotta be open, you know, try it once, you might like it, you're gonna go back twice. So yeah.
All right. Okay.
So, but Will, we haven't heard from you. So
hey, what you like in the bed, Will? You better let us know. What you like?
What's happening, Will?
Tell us what's up.
No, it's pretty much just going off what everybody said, just communication, right? You know, especially for coming from Alfred, me, we're men, so like sex is, a big part of the relationship, So communication, I think
nowadays.
Yeah, I think Lani said it best, as early as possible, right? As early as possible. Don't delay it, because the more you delay, it's gonna make it more harder.
It makes it awkward, like when you're like 1 year in and you're like, well, can we do this? Like, what? Who are you?
Right.
And honestly, if you're not happy and satisfied in the bed and you can't talk to your partner and have that communication, life's too short for shitty sex. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You got to be open and talk.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, yeah, all right, let's do this. Let's try this. All right. Like, it's communication again. It comes back to communication.
Yeah. And also one of the reasons why I would say, like, just say it as early as possible, because say if you don't say anything for like 6 months or a year, that person might assume that he's doing a great job, or he's doing
right.
And then you break it in a year later, you just totally destroy their confidence. Destroy their confidence.
The eagle was soaring and fell straight to the ground dead.
In his mind, like, this whole time,
my feelings would be
like, damn, this whole year, like this whole time, like I thought I was, doing a great job.
Yeah, I thought I was doing the damn thing.
I was smashing at it.
Yeah, right.
I was destroying it.
Splish splashing. I'm going to find out I'm the only one over here smash smashing in my head. Oh my god!
Like Lani said, I thought I was destroying it, smashing it.
Exactly.
But this whole time, you're I mean, to me, that can tear a relationship.
It really can, because I feel like it for a man, it knocks down their ego. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, you're like, Well, for the last year,
Yeah, exactly.
I've been waiting for some kind of firework, and right now it's like,
I'd be like,
Yeah.
and all those mornings for what the hell was that?
like I want it to be tied up, and it's like month 6.
Yeah, because like I say, you know, that we get intimate, right? That's when we're most intimate is during that
Yeah.
task. So like, I think it's really important to make sure we communicate that as early as possible, and you know, teach each other. Like that's what a relationship is. We teach
Right,
how to
right.
learn how to love each other, right?
Mhm.
And that goes a long way.
Yeah,
I
that's like a really good that's a really good way to build a relationship is by
Yeah.
teaching them. Like
Yeah.
I've always said, like if I had, you know, like if I was with somebody and like we had sex and the sex wasn't all that great, but I still like the person, like sex should be fun. It should be
Right.
very, you know, like something that you can encourage
Yeah.
each other, something that you can like explore and be like, you know, I know you like it like this, but why don't you do it like this? Because I like it like this. And then you
Right.
build from that, and then come to find out, damn, that was like the best sex I've ever had.
You're like,
you know?
goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I just busted 3 times, but
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it again, you know? Like,
Hey, show that face
Like-
again.
and it's like the listening part. It's like the whole listening. Are you listening to me? Are you know what I mean? Are you willing
Yeah.
to, you know, go out of your way to comfort me the way I want to be
Right.
comforted, or I can
Right.
comfort you the way you like to be comforted, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
Alfred.
it's kind of
I
a
think
mental and
Al-
emotional thing.
Yeah, and Alfred, I think kind of touching on that is, and go again for both men and women. It's not about just satisfying yourself. You got to satisfy your partner, and then your second partner's got to
yeah.
satisfy to you. You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
each other.
Like
Yeah.
maybe a little bit TMI, but a part of me, you know, like getting off like with somebody else is like I feel like that you like it. If I feel
Right.
that you like it, even though I don't really like it all that much, I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
do
do
it
it.
because I want
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Take care of your
fucking-
You're
partner.
want
a
you to, like,
giver.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I want you to feel like fuck yes. Like I don't want you to be like, again. Like you know what
No,
I mean?
Rolling
Like
those eyes.
yeah, you know what I mean? I
No.
don't want you to
Yeah.
feel like that. I'm gonna make sure that I enjoy it myself and that I'm enjoying this. But I want you to enjoy it too. Like this is not a one-way street. Like
Right.
let
Exactly.
me make sure
Again,
that you enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it and I can see that you enjoy it and you tell me you enjoy it, I'm gonna keep doing it until you enjoy it to the max. Like
Yeah.
you know?
No, it's
Yeah.
true. I mean, because there's givers and receivers. Like I'm a giver too. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, if I don't really want to do this, but it's like floating your boat, bitch, we're doing it.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it makes me get off
it
that
makes
you get off.
feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you feel better that they're enjoying what you're doing.
And
Like,
again,
I'm about that.
communication. Yeah, it comes
Yes,
down to
I'm about
communication.
that.
You're seeing it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said I'm a vacation. I was like, girl, right? I am a vacation.
That too. A vacation in Colorado.
Right.
Hey Alfred, when I cut up the video for this conversation, I'm gonna use your face that you showed.
He's like rolling his eyes
What face
back.
did I
He's like
make?
in
What face
heaven.
did I
Yeah.
make?
You rolled your eye away. I'm gonna screenshot that and put it in the thumbnail.
I love it so much.